All right, here we go. Back at it again with some more RV sales process for you sales teams, RV sales people out there that might be having trouble with the RV sales process, or maybe you just want to get better at closing the deal. This stream is for you because we're going to be talking about dealing with RV customers, going past surface level with our customers, and helping them close the deal using their own emotion, which is the best way to do it. My name is Chris Paulino. I'm with IMR. My agency helps dealerships and businesses get more customers, and we can also help you with sales training. If you want to speak with me about that, give me a call directly, 330-703-3930. Again, 330-703-3930, or visit us online at got.marketing. But we'll get right into the live stream. And I think this is important to understand because, as we've mentioned in past streams and past videos, it's very important for you to learn the emotions of your customer. Because if we don't learn the emotions of our customer, we're not going to be able to close the deal most efficiently, right? If you think about it in a percentage base, if we barely learn our customer's emotions, maybe we have a 10% chance to close a deal. If we somewhat learn our customers' emotions, maybe we have a 30 or 40% chance to close the deal. If we, get their emotions pretty good, maybe we have, 50 to 75% chance to close a deal. If we really, really know their emotions and understand them and can connect them to their units and can connect them to our products and so on and so forth, well, then we probably have closer to an 80 or 90% chance to close the deal. Right? We're never going to have a 100% chance to close a deal, right? Math just doesn't work that way. Sales don't work that way, right? So we're not going to close every customer that we talk to. But the way to have the highest chance to close a customer is by learning their emotions, digging past surface level, and really get into what they care about, right? But, how do we do that, right? There's a lot of customers that will come into our dealership. They'll come into our office. They'll, introduce themselves to us. And one of the first things they'll say is, "Hey, I'm not buying today. Hey, we're researching for down the road. Hey, we just drove by and saw all these cool RVs and just wanted to come check it out." Right? So there's a lot of interactions, or there's some interactions that we get with our customers that don't feel like it's going to turn into a sale. And as we spoke about in past streams, if we have that wrong mindset going into the deal, then we're not going to be able to close it because our mindset's not right. We're not going to dig into that here. We have past streams. You can check those out on my LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, the different platforms we're on. But we have to be able to dig into our customers' emotions. And the place that this starts, the place that you can really get good at this, believe it or not, is in your introduction, right? Because the introduction is the first part of the sale. It's where our customers come, introduce ourselves, we learn their name, so on and so forth. We learn why they're there, we learn why they're coming. And it's where we're making our first impression. Right? So if we're making our first impression here in the interview, then what we want to impress on them in the very first instance that we meet them is that we're going to sit them down. We're going to learn their needs, their wants, their emotions. We're going to ask you questions so that me as the salesperson can feel good enough, comfortable enough to show you an RV that actually meets your needs. Now, we're not just talking an RV that meets the price point. We're not talking an RV that meets the weight requirement or the length requirement or has, a feature in there that they really like. Right? We're not talking about a unit that might work or that could fit. Right? I need to learn your emotions so well that I find the perfect RV for you. The RV that I don't need to show you two RVs because I know this one that I'm showing you is so perfect that you literally don't even need to see another RV. And the way I'm going to be able to learn that kind of information and, dig that deep into their emotion is by setting it up from the very beginning, setting my intentions early. And we've talked about this before, but we have to set our intentions early so that our customer understands what sales process they're about to go through. Because as humans, we don't like surprises. We don't like the unknown. We don't like to go into an RV dealership or a car dealership or a business and waste our time. We don't like to be walked around by a salesperson and showed every single unit, every single product, every single service that they offer until we buy one of them. That's just not how we are. Humans, we get emotional. We want something. Once our emotions get so high that our emotions are higher than the money it costs to buy the unit, we typically will buy it, right? For a $1 item, we don't have to get our emotion as high. But for an RV, we have to get our emotion higher because it's a recreational vehicle. It's something we use on the weekends. It's something we use when we have time off. We already have a work week. We already have a mortgage. We already have 2 cars. We have credit cards. We have X. We have Y. We have Z. And now you want me to buy an RV for another 100, 200, 500, $1,000 a month? How can you get me? How can you get my emotion to a point where I can equate that emotion as worth more than 200, 500, 1,000, whatever it is on the other side of the coin, right? Because if I can't get that emotion higher than my unit costs, then they're not going to buy ever. Okay, you have to understand that. They're not going to buy ever if we cannot get their emotion to a place where it's in the deal, it's tied to the unit, it's tied to the process, and that's what's going to help you close an RV sale. So, again, we're going to do that in the very beginning by explaining our buying process, by explaining the process that our customers are going to go through. And again, when we do this, it's going to lower their defenses because we're going to explain to them the process they're going to go through. Now that customer no longer has surprises. Now that customer no longer has questions. Now that customer isn't going to feel like you're wasting their time because you told them the process you were going to take them through. They agreed to it in the first 3 minutes. And after they agreed to it, well, now I'm a human. I agreed to it, right? I agreed to go along with you on this journey. So now I am invested in the journey. I agreed to it. I said, yeah, I'm going on this journey with you. So now if the process takes a little longer than maybe we liked, or now when we ask more questions than feels comfortable to us as a salesperson, or now when we go and we ask for the close after we find the perfect RV for this customer, well, now they are ready for it. Now they expect it. They're not surprised. They're not thrown off guard. And that lowers the defenses of our customers. Again, because customers, humans, us, we don't like surprises. We don't like the unknown. Naturally, those things typically can scare us, right? So when you diffuse your customer in the very beginning, by telling them the sales process, we lower those defenses and it allows us to get where we need to go. Right? So the next thing we're going to do to be able to go past surface level with our customers is we explain it in the buying process. And this is how we would do it. Someone comes into our dealership, we're going to ask them, hey, welcome to XYZ dealership. Have you ever bought from here before? They're going to say yes or no. It doesn't matter what they say, right? We're just trying to set up the fact that we're going to explain the buying process, and we're going to ask them, hey, have you ever bought from this RV dealership before? They're going to say yes. They're going to say no, right? Whatever they say, the next thing you're going to say as the dealership is, okay, great. Well, the way that we do business here at XYZ dealership is we sit you down and we ask you questions because we want to learn exactly what you're going to be using your RV for, who you're going to be going with, where you're going to be going, what you're going to be doing with, what you're going to be pulling with, and just, a list of different things that we need to know as a salesperson so we can show you an RV that meets your needs specifically. Once I learn everything I need to learn so that I can find you the right RV, what I'll do is I'll look through my inventory. I'll see if there is an RV on our lot that meets those needs specifically. And if there is, we'll go out, we'll take a look at one or two units that meet your needs. Once we take a look at those RVs, we'll come back in, we'll take a look at the numbers. That way you know what you can buy this RV for cash or in a monthly payment. Once we do that, if the RV makes sense and it's perfect for you, you'll buy it. If it's not, I won't even ask you to buy it. Sound fair enough? Right? So now what I said to my customers, hey, this is how we do business. I'm going to sit you down. I'm going to ask you questions. Once I ask you questions, I'm going to find a perfect RV. Once I find, and if I find the perfect RV, then we're going to go out and take a look at it. Once we go out and take a look at it, we will come back in and take a look at the numbers. That way you know what you'll pay cash or monthly payment for. Once we look at the numbers, if the RV fits your needs specifically, you'll buy it. If this RV doesn't meet your needs, I won't even ask you to buy it. Does that sound fair enough? Right? So what I just told them, and now think how I'm setting this up, because if I learn in my interview and qualify the perfect RV, and then I tell them I'm going to show them the perfect RV, and I won't show them a perfect RV unless we have one, right? So I'm going to tell them that. So now it says is, hey, I want to learn your needs. This is very customer related. This is very focused on the customer. Hey, I'm going to learn your needs. Once I learn your needs, I'm going to show you an RV that meets those needs specifically. And once I show you an RV that meets those needs specifically, then we're going to come in and I'll show you the price. That way you know what you have to pay for it, cash or credit, so you can see if it fits your budget specifically. Once you see if it fits your budget and you know it's the perfect RV, then you'll buy it. If not, I won't even ask you to buy it. Sound fair enough? So now what I did there was I told them, hey, listen, if I find you the perfect RV, because again, I'm setting myself up. I know that I'm going to find you the perfect RV because I know that I'm going to do a good interview and qualify, and I know that I'm going to pull out your true needs, wants, and desires in that interview and qualify. And because of that, I know that I'm going to find you the perfect RV. And when I find you the perfect RV, I want you as the customer to be thinking that I might be buying it today if it's the perfect RV. And he's not going to ask me to buy an RV unless it's the perfect one. So I have nothing to worry about as a customer, because this salesperson, if he doesn't find me exactly what I need and what meets my needs, he's not even going to ask me to buy. Wow, this salesperson is something special, because every salesperson asks me to buy. They never tell me that they won't ask me to buy if they don't find me the right RV, right? And me personally, I know that I'm going to be able to find you the right RV, right? Because we have a ton of inventory. We have a lot of different floor plans. I can definitely find you something that meets your needs, right? So to me, it's not a question. I know that if I can do a good interview and qualify and learn enough emotion about you, that I can find you the right RV. I'm just setting up my customer to understand that this is my process, right? And this is how you dig past surface level with your customers, because when I tell them that in the very beginning, now they're ready to follow me to my desk. Now they are ready for me to ask them questions. Now they are ready for me to inquire about what, who, when, where, why they're going with this RV. And it's not going to offend them, because I told them up front, this is what I was going to do. And in addition to telling them up front, this is what I'm going to do, I told them the reason why I needed to do it. And the reason why I need to ask you all these questions is so that I can tailor an RV to your needs, right? Because how, as a salesperson, can I know your needs if I don't ask you the right questions, if I don't ask you enough questions, if I don't go past surface level with you? How can I learn your emotions enough to sell you an RV? I can't. And how can I show you an RV that meets your needs if I don't have enough information to do that? I can't. So that's why I'm asking you these questions. I have to, because I have to learn what you're looking for so I can actually provide you with an RV that meets your needs. How could you be mad at that as a customer? You can't. You can't be mad at that because I'm literally focused on you and your needs and your wants and your desires and your family and your plans. I'm all focused on you, the customer. And customers love that. When they don't, what they don't like is getting a salesperson that is all me. What's my commission? Let me just slam this RV down your throat. Hey, this RV has a higher spiff, so let me just show. Oh, you have to buy this RV. These are the only ones to buy because as a salesperson, I know that I get paid more if I sell this unit. But maybe it's not the right one. That's when you get salespeople or customers that walk out without buying or walk out with a salty taste in their mouth, and the salesperson will act like they don't know why. But the truth is because you didn't do a good job showing your customer that you care. You didn't ask enough questions to learn their needs, wants, and emotions. And because of that, your customer felt like you were a used car, slimy salesperson that they didn't want to deal with. And that's probably the truth, right? So when we're digging past surface level with our customers, what we have to be doing is asking a lot of questions, an uncomfortable amount of questions. And these questions should start with who, what, when, where, why, and how. Because when we start questions, and I've said this time and time again, and as you come to more of these, you'll see a very repetitive motion through the sales process because it doesn't change. Practice with the sales process makes progress, right? We're progressing, we're getting better, we're increasing our closing percentage, we're decreasing our time per deal, we're speaking with more customers. Remember that formula to be a top performer: increase customers, increase closing percentage, decrease time per deal, right? So we're doing all these things by practicing and getting progress, right? But we have to make sure we're asking the question. So when we're in that interview and qualify, we should say something like, hey, who are you going to be going with? Right? And then maybe the customer says, hey, me and my wife, we have 4 kids. We're going to be going around. My kids are 7, 8, 9, and 10. Right? So, they're getting to an age where they probably won't want to be camping anymore. And we want to start taking them out camping, creating memories while they still want to go out there. Right? Now I could stop right there and I could say, oh, great, we have RVs that can take you around the US. Let's go take a look. But I didn't get much information there going one level deep, right? So I have to go past surface level. And what going past surface level is again, once they answer that question, oh, yeah, me and my 5 kids, we want to travel. They're getting older. We want to do it before they get too old and they don't want to travel. Now I would say something like, okay, great. Well, where do you guys plan on going? Oh, well, we've always talked about going to, the Grand Canyon. We've always talked about, making it all the way to the West Coast and going to Yellowstone, or, we want to head on down to Florida and do some beach camping, or, whatever they want to do. Right now we're getting past surface level. So we asked one question. Now we're digging deeper. We're getting past surface level. Where are you going? Right? What are you going to do when you get there? Right? So they said, oh, what we're going to do, we love to kayak, we love to fish, we love hanging out on the beach. So, what we plan on doing is taking like different trips. We're going to take a trip to the beach, one weekend. The next weekend, we're going to take a trip to, the river so that we can set up a kayaking trip. And then the next trip, we're going to set up at a lake so that we can go fishing. And we're going to, kind of do some things like that. Right? So now we're learning, what they're doing, where they're going to be going, who they're going to be going with. We've learned what the family likes to do while they're out there, right? We learned what they like to, do while they're together as a family, right? And we're just digging past surface level. And this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying go past surface level. Ask multiple layers of questions on the same things that you just asked. So where are you going to be going? Who are you going to be going with? What you're going to be doing, right? Now they say we're going to be kayaking, beaching, fishing, right? Okay. Now you might ask something like, well, let me ask you this. How important is it to you to start going camping with your kids and your loved ones before they get to an age where they don't want to go with you anymore? right? Well, listen to that question. How important is it to you to start camping with your kids before they are too old to do it anymore? Or before they get so old that they don't want to go with you anymore? How important is that to you, mom and dad? Now, they might say something like, listen to how emotional, how deep that question is, right? They might say something like, well, it's very important. Our kids, they're our babies. We love spending time with them. We realize they're getting older. They don't spend as much time with us as they did before. And as parents, we miss that. We miss spending time with them. So if we were able to even just have a couple years in an RV traveling the United States with our kids, it would mean the world to us. It would mean the world to you. Is the world worth more than $200? Is the world worth more than $1,000 a month? Yeah, it is. Of course it is. Is memories with our kids worth more than $200 a month, 500, 1,000? Yes, it is. Especially if we have the means to pay for that, to do that, right? So that's what I mean by going past surface level. You're not going to get anywhere by asking your customer what they're going to be doing. And the first thing they say is, oh, we plan on going kayaking and fishing. And you say, oh, I have a perfect RV for that. Let's go take a look at this RV over here. It's going to be perfect for kayaking and fishing. And then you go show them an RV. But we didn't build much value. We didn't create much emotion in the deal because we didn't go past surface level. We asked one question and we stopped right there. Right. So if you want to learn the emotions of your customers, you have to dig deep. You have to go past surface level. You have to, ask questions that are going to dig into their emotion. You got to ask emotional questions. Like, think about that. How important is it to you to travel with your kids before they can no longer travel with you? That's a deep question. How many of you RV salespeople out there are asking your customers these kinds of questions? Or are you just asking them, hey, what's your monthly budget? What's your budget? What's your trade in? How much can you afford in a month? How much can you put down? What's your credit score? Are those the things that you're asking? Because those are boring questions that provide no emotion, that build no nothing. They don't build value in the deal. They don't build emotion in your customer. They're not going to help you close a sale. But a lot of the time, those are the questions that we see RV salespeople asking, right? As soon as they come in, well, let me ask you this. How much are you looking to spend on an RV? You're going right to the money question before learning my emotions, needs, wants, and desires? Right? That is a mistake. And that's what I mean when I say going past surface level. We can't stop at, we can't stop at the beginning. We can't stop at the first question. We can't ask questions that don't dig into emotions. We can't ask money and buying questions before we learn the emotions, right? We have to do better as salespeople of going past surface level and actually caring about our customers' needs, wants, and desires, right? And again, the way you set that up is in your introduction from the very beginning when you explain your buying process to them. Remember, hey, welcome to XYZ dealership. What can I help you with? Oh, we're just here. We're looking. We're not buying today. We're buying in 5 years. We're just researching. That's why we're here today. Okay, great. Let me ask you this. Have you ever bought from XYZ dealership before? No, we've never bought here. We're just starting out. We're just looking. We've never owned an RV, so we're kind of just in the research phases. Okay, I hear what you're saying. Well, the way that we do business here at XYZ dealership is I'm going to sit you down. I'm going to learn, what you're going to be using the RV for, who's going to be going with you, where you're going to be going, and just all the different things I need to learn so that I can show you an RV that meets your needs specifically. Once I learn all of the things I need to know so I can show you an RV that meets your needs, I'm going to look at my inventory to make sure that I have something that meets your needs specifically. And if I do, then we're going to go out to the lot. We're going to take a look at one or two RVs. Okay, we'll come back into my office. I'll show you what it will cost you to buy that RV with cash and then a monthly payment. And if the RV is perfect for you, then you'll buy it. If it's not, I won't even ask you to buy it. Sound fair enough? right? So boom, again, I'm setting my customer up, I'm lowering their defenses, I'm explaining to them what process they're about to go through, I'm explaining to them that I'm about to ask you a bunch of questions, and the idea behind these questions is I want to learn your needs, your wants, your emotions so I can show you an RV that meets your needs specifically. You see how tailored that is to the customer? It has nothing to do with me. I don't care about the salesperson. I don't care that you told me you're not going to buy today. I don't care about anything. The only thing I care about is running you through the RV sales process, learning your true needs, wants, and desires. And if I can learn your true needs, wants, and desires, then I'll show you an RV that meets those needs, wants, and desires, and then I will close the deal, right? So it's very easy once you get through the sales process, but if you can't get past surface level by asking multiple levels of questions, who, what, when, where, why, and how, what are you going to be using with this RV, right? We're going to be using it to travel. We want to go kayaking. We want to go fishing. Okay, great. Where are you going to be going? Oh, we're going to be going to Yellowstone, and we're going to be going to, X, Y, and Z. Okay, great. Who's going to be going with you? Oh, it's going to be my wife. It's going to be my kids. It's going to be X, Y, Z. My Sally, my dog, my this, my that. Okay, great. How come you want to how come you want to travel with your kids and your loved ones? Oh, the reason I want to travel with my kids and my loved ones is because I love them. I want to create memories. I want to create X, Y, Z. Okay. How important is it for you to create memories with your with your kids, with your loved ones, with your wife? You see, I'm like 6 or 7 layers deep here. I don't know, maybe five, six. I don't know, but you can see that I'm multiple layers deep, really off that same question. What are you going to be doing in an RV? Where are you going to be going? Who are you going to be going with? How come that's important to you? Right? What are you going to be doing? You see, it's easy to get past surface level. We just have to get used to asking more questions that start with who, what, when, where, why, and how. When we do that, it's going to prompt our customer to start speaking more, which is going to allow us to bring out their emotion, which will then allow us to close the sale. So you have to understand it's very important to go past surface level in your sales process, because if you're unable to do so, you won't be able to connect your RV to your customer's emotions. And when you can't connect your customer's emotions to an RV, the chances you close a deal decrease drastically, right? Dramatically is what I was going to say, right? Dramatically, right? Drastically, put those together, we got dramatically, right? So, but nonetheless, that's not the case, right? We want to close deals, we want to help customers, we want to find units that meet customers' needs specifically, and that's how we're going to do it, right? So, if you're not asking questions, if you're not going past surface level with your customers, make it a point this week or next time you're in an RV deal to ask more questions. Dig past surface level with those customers so that you can really start digging into that emotion, giving your customers units that meet those needs, wants, and desires, and closing the deal around your customers' emotions, because that's how you're going to close more sales. So if you are an RV dealership, if you're a business that needs more leads for your sales team, maybe you need more customers, you need more walk-ins, you need more internet leads, that's what my agency does. So if you want to get more customers for your dealership or business, or maybe you need better sales training or sales training in general, feel free to give me a call, 330-703-3930. Again, 330-703-3930. Call me directly. We'll talk about getting more leads to your dealership, more customers to your business, and we can also talk about training your sales team so that they can be customer focused and closing more sales. Right. So again, give me a call, 330-703-3930. You can also visit us online at got.marketing, or you can have access to our virtual training right online at sellmorelivemore.net. It's only $9.99 a month, or you can buy the whole program for, I believe, just $9.97. Or no, it's not. I think it's like $50 actually. I don't know. You'd have to go to sellmorelivemore.net. You can see our pricing. I think it's $97 actually to buy the whole program, and $9.97 a month if you want just monthly access. So it's not too expensive. It's got everything we're talking about in it in video form. You can also get the book Sell More, Live More Sales Training on Amazon or Barnes and Noble, written by the one and only Chris Paulino. So go get my book, Sell More, Live More Sales Training, Amazon or Barnes and Noble, or visit us online, sellmorelivemore.net. Become a part of our video training program, and start getting better at closing the deal. But nonetheless, I thank you for being here for this RV sales process. I do want to do some more live role plays down the road. So if you're interested in doing a live role play, feel free to give me a call, shoot me a message on LinkedIn. We'll get that scheduled. That way we can get you in here on a role play. But again, thank you for everybody for joining me here for this RV sales process, and we'll see you on the next one.